there's a great program we can follow. It's called the GOSH program, and it's basically a program designed to help us to become less acidic and more alkaline. Like I said to you earlier, we're not aiming to be too alkaline. We want to be neutral. We want to be in the middle. So we don't want to be acidic and we don't want to be too alkaline. We want to be neutral. So the GOSH program includes 4 aspects. The G is for greens, and the greens, the cruciferous vegetables, for so many health issues, you really cannot get enough. And we're not just talking about the acid-alkaline balance, we're talking about reducing inflammation, we're talking about immunity, so many reasons why we want to have the greens in our diet, and we're going to go into that in more detail. The O is for oils, so good quality oils. The S is for salt, so the right amount, not too much, but the right amount of good quality salt. And the H is for water, something that is essential to human life. So when it comes to greens, what we're looking for is the chlorophyll that is found in all green plants. So I'm talking about kale and spinach, parsley, watercress, broccoli. They're all full of chlorophyll. They're all full of something called indole 3-carbinol. And these components are all amazing for our health and amazing for our acid-alkaline balance. Raw food, raw greens, is always going to give you the highest content. So you're always going to get more of the nutrition from the greens than if you cook them. But if you do cook, I would suggest you steam for short periods only. So just steam them only for as long as you need, so that they're, that you're going to enjoy eating them. Avoid boiling. It's really going to destroy a lot of the nutrient within that food. I often say to people that a really good thing to do is just to try and have some raw greens on 2 of your meals every day. I quite often have rockets for my breakfast/lunch brunch. And then in the evening, I'm a big salad fan, so I'll often have lots of salad. Or I will make smoothies that might have spinach in them, or kale, which is raw. And the other thing that is really great is juicing, which we will cover in another of these sessions. Juicing is ideal as the vitamins and the minerals and the enzymes quickly enter the bloodstream. To get the enzymes, you need to drink the juice within 5 minutes of making it, but they will enter the bloodstream very quickly, because with juicing, it hasn't got to go via the digestive process. With juicing, I always say we shouldn't really be juicing fruit, because we don't want to raise our blood sugar. So an example of, an easy juice is something like celery, cucumber, lemon, ginger. When you're starting out, you may need to put a little bit in, maybe an apple, half an apple, but do, as quickly as you can, try and take the fruit out for health reasons. You're having the juice it's like a powerful supplement. It's a powerful supplement that you're making yourself and you're making fresh. But like I said, we will be covering juicing in a bit more detail. So lots of these green vegetables, whether you're going to smoothie make, whether you're going to have it on the side of your plate, whether you're just going to munch on it, whenever you feel like it. But the other thing you can also do, which is sort of a little cheat's way, but perfectly good way, not a bad cheat, is you can get something called liquid chlorophyll. I generally buy mine off Amazon. I use a brand called World Organic Liquid Chlorophyll. I don't buy the flavoured one, the spearmint. I just get the plain one. And you'd have about 1 to 2 tablespoons a day. You'd have it in water, or you can have it neat. And that is basically a very concentrated shot of your greens, your chlorophyll. You're really topping yourself up for the day by having that. Chlorophyll has also got lots of other health benefits. One of those is that it's very good at mopping up carcinogens that we are exposed to in life. Barbecuing, for instance, exposes us quite often to carcinogens, so it will mop up metals, carcinogens that are floating around the system. So it's a great thing to have a bottle of it in the fridge, and just try and remember to have it daily. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world. Oh yes, and of this slide, as you can see, it just shows you some of the really great benefits of having chlorophyll. And obviously when you're having your green veg, you're getting chlorophyll, but when you're having the liquid chlorophyll, you're going to get a really concentrated amount of it. So those are just some of the benefits for you to see. Then we move on to oils. By oils, we're talking about our omega-3 and hemp seed oil, flaxseed, something called saccharinci that people might not have heard of so much, and it is a little bit more expensive. They are full of our omega-3. There is also a brand called Maripa fish oil, which is free of solvents. I know that Cytoplan fish oil is also free of solvents. It's a good quality fish oil, and it's less expensive than the Maripa. And marine phytoplankton is something that you can obtain, and that's not only full of omega-3, it's also got vitamins and minerals in there, but it's quite a distinctive taste. So it's not everybody's cup of tea. But from the point of view of your hemp seed oil, your flax, your saccharinci, you know, it's a case of just having one of these, or if you want to get all three in, and just having them regularly. Don't heat them. Either add them to your smoothie, sprinkle them on your salad, make a dressing, sprinkle them on your veg, but just get lots of these really good quality oils into your system. I think for years we were told that fat was not good for us, fat made you fat, but it's not the case. Good fat is very good for us. It's very good for many reasons. The reason we're talking about today, it's also very good for our brains. So the right fat is good. So getting lots of these fats up in your diet is really great. Oh, and sorry, coconut oil, which I generally try and buy a brand that's hexane free, and you can use it as a spread, or I use it as butter, to be honest, because I don't have any cow's milk products. So I use coconut oil as a spread, just a thin spread on a buckwheat cracker, sorry, and you add it to smoothies, and I cook with it. So coconut oil doesn't heat up to such high temperatures as other oils, so it's safer to cook with. But there are other oils. Avocado oil is another oil that is safe to cook with. But you know, generally a lot of the good quality oils, the best way to use them is actually to use them cold, and then you get the full benefits of them. Just some reasons to have coconut oil. Increases fat loss, which you'd be surprised. It is a medium chain fatty acid, but the body doesn't store it as fat. It boosts your brain health, helps wounds heal faster. So you actually apply it topically, and I have done this for my daughter, and it has healed a fungal looking toenail, helps to balance your hormones, helps in heart disease. It's not a bad fat from the point of view of heart disease. There was an article in the British Medical Journal that supported the fact that it's good for the good cholesterol. It's not a problem from the bad cholesterol, because there has been some bad press about it. But yeah, this article has only been in the last couple of years. It increases nutrient absorption, which is obviously what we want. If we're going to have all this lovely healthy food, then we want to really get the most out of having it. And it is also good for your bone health. So lots of reasons to have a little bit of coconut oil in your diet. As with anything, you know, don't go mad. 1 to 2 tablespoons a day, I would suggest. Then we move on to salt. Now, when I learned all about this, I was very relieved to hear that salt is actually okay for us, good for us, providing we don't have too much of it, because it's something I love. Something I particularly like is Himalayan salt sprinkled on an avocado with a little bit of chili flakes. I love that. So my personal preference is Himalayan. It's an unpolluted form of salt. Table salt is the thing that you need to chuck out. It's sodium chloride. It's very toxic to the body. The body has to work very hard to detoxify it for us. So yeah, if you've got any table salt, even for cooking, I certainly would just, personally, I'd pop it in the bin. An average person needs approximately a teaspoon of salt a day. Obviously, I don't know who's average and who's not, but I know I am, because I had a DNA food test a few years back, and it told me I needed 5 grams of salt a day, so I was very happy about that. There is a solution that we can use, and we will cover that in another session, and that's called Soleil. So that's your salt. And then I'm just wondering where the water's gone. But basically, with water, we are going to cover water more fully. It's so important that everybody, drinks enough water. Filtered is the way to have it. So at the least a Brita filter, but obviously there are a lot of really good systems that you can have fitted at home, or you can get a tabletop distiller. Mine is by a company called Mega Home, where you can distill 4 litres of water at a time. But yes, we need to be filtering our water to some degree because of the pollutants and the contaminants that are in water. And it's a minimum of 1 litre per 50 pounds of body weight. That's just a loose guide, but it's a good guide. And then, like we said, having lots of teas. It might be that you could listen to this talk today and you could think, what's the one thing that I can change to become, less acidic? And it might be, right, I'm going to start to have plant milk instead of cow's milk. So just think where to start. You might think, right, well, I'm not drinking anywhere near enough, so I'm going to start to have more water. So one thing at a time. You don't need to do it all overnight. Any change is going to be good for our bodies.